When did you become a Christian?
Shortly after moving here. I was disenfranchised with Christianity. I just mentioned Christopher Hitchens. I read a few books that he wrote when I was younger. And I thought, you know what? I looked around England and the way society was collapsing and the way Christians behaved. I mean, this pride flags in churches, this is a relatively new phenomenon, but let's just say it started with versions of reality I saw like that. And I thought, you know, Christians don't really stand for anything anymore. I challenge any atheist to walk around Romania and just insult Jesus Christ to the normal Romanian man. People say, oh, well, if you insult the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Muslims will punch you in the face. Go and do that in Romania and insult Jesus. The Romanians stand for something. And I saw how Christianity holds this country together. You couldn't wear that watch in London. Walking around London with that watch and no bodyguards could be a death sentence. You could get as drunk as you like by yourself in any bar in Bucharest with that watch on and no one's going to steal it from you. The Romanian people are good people, and Christianity is what helps hold the society together. Also, the maternal grandfather of my daughter is an Orthodox Christian priest. So even when I was dating his daughter, he was insisting that the grandkids have to be baptized, etc. And I fell back into Christianity by reading the Bible cover to cover 6 years ago. And it opened my eyes to what I was standing against as an atheist. And I thought, why would I stand against this? And then look at atheists. Go to these men standing naked with their dicks out in front of kids, you know. These people aren't Christians. Look at how the atheists behave. How they fetishize serious issues like abortion. Haha, I had 30 abortions, this is funny. No, it's not funny. I'm not even saying it should be illegal, but that's not funny. These are all atheists. These are the godless people. That's my team? I looked around and thought, these people don't represent me. Why am I saying I'm an atheist? Let me at least investigate what I'm missing out on. And that's what converted me.
What was your childhood like?
You know, I don't want to say difficult. I don't want to say difficult because me and my brother were always a team and we always lifted each other up in difficult situations. And now that I look back on things, when we first moved to England, we lived in a homeless shelter for 3 years with a bunch of other families. We had one single room, my mother, my sister, my brother, and me. And when I was a kid, like you'd go to your friend's house at school and then he'd be like, I'll come to your house next weekend. And my mother would have to explain to his mother, look, he can't come here. We live in a homeless shelter. But it never really hurt me at the time. I didn't feel like I was hard done by the world. I didn't feel like a victim. I didn't have this victim mentality because my father wouldn't allow me to think that way. So I can say it was difficult in retrospect compared to how my kids are going to be raised. They're going to have a much easier life than I had. But I didn't have a difficult time dealing with it when I was going through it. So I'd say my childhood was excellent because I had a mother who made sure we had 3 meals a day, a mother who had my clothes washed and ironed and repaired. If a button fell off, she could fix it. She took care of us. She read books to us. You know, I read a lot of books myself. We're not university educated. We left education at 16 years old, high school. So we're self-educated people. And yeah, I liked my childhood. I think it was very fun.
Why'd you leave the UK?
Money. My father got essentially screwed over by the VA, a story that I won't tell here. But although he played chess and he was a very smart man, he had no money, none. And there was a point when my mother and him, I believe, were going through the divorce, and she made the point of, look, if something happens to the kids, we can't afford to take them to the hospital. And they made the decision together saying, well, look, the kids are British citizens, you're a British citizen, go over and live in England. We'll see if we can fix the marriage at some point in the future. It never happened. But it was a financial issue that made us move. And probably one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Did you think about staying there when you became an adult?
Did I think about going back to the United States?
No, back to the UK.
Back to the UK? No. Well, I've always felt British. I moved to England when I was 8. So I was very young, it's why my British accent is stronger than Andrew's, because he was a year and a half older than me by the time we moved there. But I really liked England, and I'm super proud of England and proud to be British, which upsets me because obviously England's falling apart. But I consider myself English, so I like that country. I can't move back now. When the government is saying you can't talk about this guy's brother in school, I'm going to move back there. I'm public enemy #1, and bad things will happen, worse than they happened here, I suspect. So sadly, I can't go back to England, but I do love England. I said if I could swear loyalty to any British leader ever, it would have been the Queen of England. King Charles, not so much. But like everyone's like, oh, who do you vote for? You know, Labour or Conservative, Liberal, Democrat? I was like, no, Queen Elizabeth II. That's the politician I'm proud of. I don't want to hear about the others because they're not interesting. and they just want to see the country fall apart.
Do you think the monarchy will continue?
If Charles dies soon, and I hope he doesn't, I believe that people will rally behind William in a way they have not rallied behind Charles. I believe that William is a much more popular figure. I believe that William has less skeletons in his closet, let's say. I believe that he could revive the English love for the monarchy, which died with Queen Elizabeth II. It depends how long Charles is the placeholder. But unfortunately, everything great about England is being destroyed. And the royal family is one of those institutions that I believe to be a great institution, one of the great things about England. So there are people actively seeking to destroy it. If I had my way, the monarchy wouldn't go anywhere.
In my opinion, I do think that if he went back to America, he came back over here and he probably stayed somewhere that I wouldn't say New York, Cali. Florida would be straight, but I wouldn't suggest probably Miami, but most likely they're going to pick Miami probably anywhere out of the United States. But in my opinion, I feel like he would be safe, but then again, I'm not famous, but I do feel like he would be safe. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it would be too much crazy shit happening. But at least they'll have a legal fighting chance over here in the United States more than somewhere over here in like Romania where they can keep you for like 90 days without any, like, if I don't charge you of any crime. Like, I think that's fucking crazy, but that's my opinion.
But
why are people seeking to destroy it, do you think? And more broadly, the West?
well, they don't want anybody to have anything to be proud of. It's the reason buildings are ugly. It's the reason they'll take down your national flags. It's the reason they allow mass amounts of unchecked immigration of people from different cultures, some of them good, some of them bad, to flood into your borders. They just don't want anybody to have anything to rally behind, whether it be a flag or a monarch, so then they can just divide people and tell people how to think, what to do, how to behave. You know? If I say, no, Queen Elizabeth has these certain values, and I'm British, so I'm going to have the same values as her. I'll give you an example. I like to speak the Queen's English. Now it's the King's English, but that's what it's called. English people can't even speak their own language anymore. You ever been to London? Heard their accents?
Yes.
I know Americans who are illiterate, but it is the English language, so I'll bully the English. There are British people who speak one language and can't even speak it right. No. Speaking the Queen's English was the standard we used to set for people to communicate with one another. That's gone. So it's sad that these people want to destroy the foundations of almost every society. And what better way in England to destroy the foundation of British society and British patriotism than destroying the crown?
Hey, if you like this video right here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram at KM.Little with 2 E's. Also, I have a Patreon, and I also have a private community where I talk to y'all 2-3 hours every single day. It's in the link below, also with the Discord. So join the Discord.